We are firmly behind the leader in pursuing the inquiry into this 22 billion Ghana cedi loss. We are firmly behind the leader. Nobody should live under this apprehension. So we be attacking leader, no. Then it will take our eye off the 22 billion loss now. What's the inquiry into, no. Nobody should be under the apprehension. So we be attacking leader, no. And I say me, and I say Abena.
Former Deputy Minister of Finance Abena Osei-Asare, Honorable, also raised questions. They dealt with her the same way. She's incompetent, she's reckless, she's useless, she's silly. They use all sorts of invectives on her. Now the hilt of it is what Honorable Afenyomakin is going through. On 25th February 2025, the sitting president told us that we need $1.7 billion to finish Agenda 111. That's what the president told us a year and a half ago, that we need $1.7 billion to finish Agenda 111. Same president is comfortable that somebody is appointed to the gold board through his operations has cost the state $1.7 billion and is not concerned. The reaction shows that there's a panic. Honorable Atuforsen has questions to answer. The governor has questions to answer. Sammy Gyamfi has questions to answer. If a liar tells you to go to court, then it means that he knows the judge.
All right, so fellow Ghanaians, it's another brand new week, and let me warmly welcome you to this noble platform, a Smart Africa Media. Thank you very much. Today happens to be the 24th day of August 2026. Now, what is trending? It was social media, no so at the end the air so the course so is see last 2 weeks, last week, and one but this time around, it has slightly changed from gold board. And then Sammy Gyamfi accused the minority leader, Honorable Alexander Osahin Afenyomakin, allegedly was Afenyomakin a extortionist. That's why you have to that is what we're going to talk about. And in fact, I raise this serious concern. And then there, I have some opinion to make. Me a comment about community. I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to give it to you. When he said the diet, I'm going to give it to you a video of this same Sammy Gyamfi. I think it's about time one NPP as a party should take very serious note from this video. NPP as a party, allegations from this same Sammy Gyamfi. Let me remind you of some videos being Komobi as Sammy Gyamfi did pain. Yeah, NPP for that so yeah, it took only Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe to sue him. Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe was sue or the saying Sammy Gyamfi. What to so Matthew Poku Prempe said, I won't talk much. No, sue no. Later on, be part of this same person, this same person. Abe Katra, Honorable Afenyomakin, wa Katra Ghana for were extortionist, and so was so boa one fan court. And in fact, I'm going to give you some videos. Akosia Menu, the former chief executive officer at the Ghana National Youth Authority under Nana Dango Kufuor's government. Wabedi Nkumobi, and what Yewura Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, and so the Nanoa Tusa issue. I'm going to give you that video, but first of all, let me ask this from you. If you subscribe to YouTube channel, like and sign, share my for one more teaching event here. Mami mo Sammy Gyamfi video bia Odi Nkumobi say na Danko Kufuor at the bribe of $40,000 every NDC for be once and one position. And today this same Sammy Gyamfi is accusing Honorable Afenyomakin so we extortionist. Watch this video.
Omampenye Kufuor abusanfo waje bribe $40,000 to keep an NDC Mahama appointee in office. That is it. And like Honorable Fifi Kwete said, so Omampenye Kufuor say anya no kra. Oma yonko no boko na onkonko deny. Waje bribe. Dia ne yeketa to wo buga na nimu ase.
And you see, didn't you make us the NPP, and take it this serious? And he said this same Sammy Gyamfi was a person or claim he said the first corruption scandal was castrated by Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Baumia. This is the same Sammy Gyamfi. I don't know if my name is a superhuman. I can't tell. But other than people before him at the same person. Say Mudinsa, and they was not the Frababon to say, a free marking at to bottom nipa. Or say a free marking at to bottom nipa. And I think say NPP should call honorable a free marking. That is what I heard. But then they was a bit say NPP sim friend. So may in one. I think they should do investigate this. Or investigate it to this matter. Because NPP one opposition. And if these things some come away, we sorry and wodi na part no enyamba power no na ye this corruption scandals at the same party so by a particular party emu nipa na what the same way to party so what the two nipa bi wo so ene ade na party we ye man take step NPP mama mfani ma bi agro because me say Sammy Gyamfi we and Rebecca say the first corruption scandal was orchestrated by Dr. Muhammad Baumia but ono ye NPP flag bearer. Two, this same Sammy Gyamfi and Rebecca check na po beki cancel bi tire na po antias no siu no and when you who the lies in Sammy Gyamfi and this homophobia normal in the 2028 election people are going to get fed up because of Nkrumah ko hwisem wo no maka and they akosua menu edin komo was say se kohwini eka asem no wo ka kiro say wo pa fa me court ya and I said that particular judge no was high court one wonim no eno wachi yewura Kojo Oppong Nkrumah enso ede ne dia beto so say and someone as Sammy Gyamfi kanu this is not the first time why ye be pen but this time around no omo hwe Emma will be for leader, and now you honor Yamami honorable Abra Osasari, and now one no or the saying Oppong Nkrumah will be informed when him entry from this time they are going to wake up and take a decision.
That's a Kwame me free a video so me did say a for the break. Weekend be Friday near there or my mini or my food sir a cat be a gun abwa ye come one still beginning into more about the coca no man kabia da Nkrumah passes and come away if you say that I am near na me fit and come away I say as far back as April 2025 say are they buying yes all pump dollars go market no so I mean say no I interviews be brave and they ka be fee you can deny by September na IMF the crata babon thing say Ghana boka $214 million. As Akano, Okosha, or Bank of Ghana for books more. Into the Bayer Central for see a muka say, I will say, a buying my shishim because you cry who is our brand, so that I make I say, you cry who is a can assist $214 million. At the end of the day, you know, yet the motion called Parliament, say Parliament minds in Kunyani and Shishim. Can I say, don't catch any Parliament no motion go. Okay. By the end of the year, no Bank of Ghana for accounts or more accounts, no SA million. Again, so na IMF or more no natural crata say a canon casano $1.7 billion. Who the best this one? 22 billion. And only a car abba yedi hunkomo sabri. Now problem is say among for focus. See two problems now. First problem is say among for focus abedina debate this say na kana gold board na Bank of Ghana.
Aha, and na kami bebu sawe because another leg of the argument is say gold board no your mind na at mra atie na Bank of Ghana no na catch gold board say ko ne koto gold bremi na okoto a oto de bremi to ne buo sei ye ni sei enti kaba dia adena we dey be fra gold board minim say what is argument no pen
matis argument no ebi mo a enti mi say nkrata no se mi hwe mu a e ka no e wo Bank of Ghana books no say na de bia maka ho asem maka cho say November December 2025 me be press conference maka cho say kan wo Bank of Ghana book mu afi we Bank of Ghana for accounts buy ya na me ka ho asem ni na meka cho say kan wo Bank of Ghana for books mu okay IMF report na ba na e kan wo Bank of Ghana for books mu nti me say kan wo Bank of Ghana for books mu ebi no so trim say no ko kan wo Bank of Ghana books mu so kan because of a JDA gold board ne Bank of Ghana be JDA gold board be on behalf of Bank of Ghana and then a cofa can buy the gold board don't mean who fi can the gold board it trim say why Ghana nya dollars are then e kana me jume die ne so cofa buy no ono so ka hobi ebi no so argument no but me kwa me point ni kwa me my get distracted about a debate of where a country a can be a you deny the atom say cano if I would say gold board I won't deny cano Bank of Ghana I won't deny cano ubi any bemo we deny cano but problem is say debate na correct na a gold board and a Bank of Ghana the kwame and one thing na make the motion ba say yenye inquiry that's why inquiry na be go be cano ana me boa
yes
maybe I make nkrata na me who say cano Bank of Ghana it be start say but gold board they cannot extricate themselves from it. Now, young inquiry, I don't know empathy about inquiry. No, and then from
gold board for Nakasa, they want to appear before Parliament. Say, want to suffer.
Any motion no buy, come any motion no buy, or vote against the motion. In the later, maybe a gold board will be cast or Mancasa per se or Parliament. That is not it. The fact is that you the motion Obama more voting no. To the motion. Ya say answer mu to say better the motion na babium here ko parliament fit and nay. But the person make as a first point and say now what we should be interested in is in the inquiry. Not so much the debate about is it Bank of Ghana or gold, but because in the end no inquiry no better be akano.
Okay.
As I know me no say Bank of Ghana for account or from my parliament. Questions are bisa about both transactions said in an no. But the only way you can find out is when we go for an inquiry. Into let's stress the first point. Nobody should get distracted. Let us focus on the fact that Ghana has suffered a 22 billion Ghana cedi loss. It is the single most colossal loss that we have suffered on any economic transaction. And Parliament must inquire into it. And yet debate in our radio studio, and then press conference. And the best of what we say, inquiry in the best of that's number one. Number two,
go for reserve no was designed to make losses. Now I'm economy no so at me stabilize it. And we about the toss me no say bra go for oil no. Na policy no ankasa no na beboa ma near stabilize but a council bebreye. Me anu yet say
Kwame, any or no na gentre. And Macatron says, I think we say, Sabi, and yeah, I obi ujina quite dream trebi na yede juma. You need to have any serious democracy. Any serious democracy. You will let Parliament have a proper inquiry. Now that's nothing. If indeed gold for reserve program was designed to make losses, you're going to inquire now you. I don't share that view. But I know you're imagine, also one. But that is why we need a proper inquiry. Now you cut through the structure. No, you first now you no you boka na. And the question of gold for oil, make kawum. It didn't na kawum. Now gold for reserve make kawum. Only answer all of these questions at the inquiry. The first point I want to make is say nobody should get distracted. Ghana has suffered a 22 billion Ghana cedi loss, and we need to inquire into it, not be bogged down in a debate about whose books is it on. Number two, I think we woke up, we are starting making allegations against you personally. So that time Bank of Ghana for accounts by a many big say, Kofonomo Bokabe 34 of it, gold losses. We have to inquire into it. They attacked me personally, said, me economist, me accountant, me fact. Why am I talking about it? Now, I'm not making no mention. Ablo say, I say, Honestly, Ono was of the view say Gold Board has to answer questions for it. Or your video babo and things like good. Or more attacking no. And Ono kwa the okan on tiasi or nim the okan ke kaone adie. Afenyo making a press conference say we say a Bank of Ghana na kodija. Now small Gold Board dollars above my name. By cap 22 billion at the Bank of Ghana, the Gold Board cannot extricate itself. Or more attacking and no attacking say no extortionate no dear at the DNA there. Who come at them DBA? That is the response that you get. Now I want to make the point. We are firmly behind the leader in pursuing the inquiry into this 22 billion Ghana city loss. We are firmly behind the leader. Nobody should live under this apprehension. So we be attacking leader, no. Then it will take our eye off the 22 billion loss now. What's the inquiry into, no. Nobody should be under the apprehension. So we be attacking leader, no. And I say me, and I say Abna. Then the allegations will now take center stage. Now if you are seminar Kasano, I want to make the point. So we are firmly behind the leader in pursuing the inquiry into the 22 billion. And that's where the focus must be, the inquiry into the 22 billion. Because I would say a bank of good for lots, friends and good for oil, and now sit at that inquiry, we will be able to get to the bottom of it. Indeed, nobody should be distracted.
Honorable Name,
But that's it.
So whether it appears on Gold Board's balance sheet or it appears on BOG's balance sheet,
Right.
we have a right to question what caused the 1.7 billion loss.
Valid.
Yeah.
Who is responsible for the design, the pricing, the implementation, the decisions? If Honorable sits here to say that PMMC transferred its liabilities to Gold Board, it doesn't feed into this conversation because the loss is clear. It's ring-fenced against 2025. 2025, Gold Board was in operations. 2025, Gold Board changed the architecture of PMMC in becoming Gold Board. As we all heard with the fanfare and everything, Parliament gave it the monopoly, right? Sole aggregator combined as a sole regulator, inclusive of a task force to implement whatever price they set. If we sit here to make this a conversation of Sammy Gyamfi and Afenyo Markin, we are being disingenuous to the good people of Ghana. 1.7 billion. If you look at the audited report of Gold Board itself, it talks about a $10.8 billion benefit to the country as far as its operations are concerned. Yet, we are well aware of the quantum sum of the equivalent of 133 million cedis, right, that the BOG gave to Gold Board. The minority, as far as we sit here, Honorable is interested.
Actually, 135 billion.
Sorry,
yes.
133 billion.
Yeah.
Thank you. As far as we are concerned sitting here, Honorable is also interested in what is contributing to the loss. I don't think he's running away from that fact.
Yes. I'm interested.
As a former parliamentarian, and if he was in opposition then, he would have asked for a probe into the matter, into an inquiry. Interestingly, this government at Parliament, and of course, they do the bidding of Jubilee House, shut down the inquiry from the minority. So it is not Auntie Efia sitting at Adenta Market who has to determine where the loss resides. Auntie Efia should be concerned because taxes will be laid on her and we'll all have to pay. $1.7 billion should be the conversation. You see, I don't want to get into this Afenyo marking Sammy Gyamfi fan club because it creates a certain impression. If we are to get into that accusation, Kojo, Honorable Kojo Oppong first went, stepped into the fray with this conversation when the IMF talked about the $240 million loss in relation to Gold Board, right?
Yeah.
What didn't we hear the same CEO of Gold Board say about him? He's not an accountant. Rubbished him, his experience, his pedigree, even the time he spent in Parliament and the experience he's gathered. Take that fact away from Kojo that he's, well, an established individual who has experience, even in finance, in economy. He speaks intelligently to it. He rubbished him and said he didn't know what he was saying. Former Deputy Minister of Finance, Abena Osei-Asare, Honorable, also raised questions. They dealt with her the same way. She's incompetent, she's reckless, she's useless, she's silly. They use all sorts of invectives on her. Now, the hilt of it is what Honorable Afenyomakin is going through. Complete character assassination. What am I saying? It's establish a pattern. Anybody who questions
Asante Agudi Crown
or BOG, so long as Gold Board is in the conversation, you are going to face personal attacks and insults. But those personal attacks and insults should not distract us. At the very least, the same CEO of Gold Board told us that Dr. Bawumia owned Haptel, and that if any Ghanaian that buys electricity, who loads the unit on their meter, has inherently put money on into the bank account of Dr. Bawumia, which is running his campaign. He said that. A lie. This same gentleman has been was sued by Honorable Dr. Matthew Puku Prempeh, wasn't he? And for which he won. He went to the appeals court, did he not? In fact, when he went to the appeals court, he didn't proceed till his government came to power, and for which that defamation has been squashed, has it not? So if a liar tells you to go to court, then it means that he knows the judge. That is what he's essentially saying. Gyamfi is a known liar. From talking about, how do you call it, who owns Haptel, from even creating scenarios out of thin air about people that he even still sees and greets and shakes. Even defamation on your colleague journalist Kwame Sefakai. And today he's talking about them impugning his integrity. He's talking about it's not fair to level accusations again. When he realized this, at the very least, even his posture in responding to the issues where Ghanaians are concerned, why are these losses coming? You said you've given us a benefit of $10.8 billion, but there's a loss of $1.7 billion. Why can't we talk about it? Why are you so agitated when that conversation comes? And instead of submitting yourself to Parliament for an inquiry, you take to media houses and radio stations with your PR machinery behind you, and all they amplify is the insults and attacks on the people who are raising meaningful questions. The voter does not care the personal relationship or whatever has transpired between Sammy Gyamfi and Afenyomakin. The voter is concerned because 1.7 billion more, 1.7 billion, which is about 1.5% of our GDP. If the program is going so well, why are they reducing the cost? In fact, the cost of that program is 14% of the amount. Honorable, on 25th February 2025, the sitting president told us that we need $1.7 billion to finish Agenda 111. That's what the president told us a year and a half ago, that we need $1.7 billion to finish Agenda 111. Same president is comfortable that somebody is appointed to the Gold Board through his operations has cost the state $1.7 billion and is not concerned.
No. I want you to state.
Yes.
Don't distort.
I will not distort the news. I'm stating the fact. IMF says there's a loss of $1.7 billion. The president should be concerned. Yes, the IMF has said the loss arose from the domestic gold purchase program.
Who runs that policy?
Oh.
Yes. You see, in other issues,
if you want to take the young man out of that conversation, then you are wrong, because Gold Board runs an operation. What do they do? Gold Board took $133 billion to run an operation and brought back less back to BOG. It sits on the books of BOG.
Brought back what?
What occasioned the loss?
And brought back what?
So at the end of the day, the 1.7 billion is not in doubt. You sat here to agree.
Don't set your own issues.
I'm not. You know what? You sat here to make 70% of your argument about the accusations on
yes, on the news.
You made yes. I am saying that forget that.
I should forget that.
No,
you want to set your own parameters.
I'm telling you that Ghanaians should be concerned about 1.7 billion because that argument is a distraction. You are using that to run away from the quantum sum of $1.7 billion. $1.7 billion can complete Agenda 111. Why? Because John Mahama, the president, told us that he needs 1.7 billion to finish Agenda 111.
It's true.
As we sit, $400 million is needed to set up the Women's Development Bank, for which the vice president, using very flowery language, made women in Ghana appreciate the fact that, oh, when the NDC comes, they are going to set a bank that will do this. $400 million is all that is needed. 2 years on, we haven't seen the bank anywhere. $1.7 billion can set up 4 banks. 4 of the Women's Development Bank. So I am concerned. I am not interested in their court case because an established liar, when he says you should go to court after he throws allegations into the air, knows the judge. That is why he's saying what he's saying. So that conversation is already he knows what he's going to do. I do not care about that. I care about $1.7 billion. I care about the fact that it can establish 4 women's development banks. I care about the fact that that laws could have completed Agenda 111. That is what we should be concerned about. I am very mortified that the minority in asking for a probe and asking, come to Parliament. It is the most reasonable thing to do. Not to sit on Asempa, go to Joy News, go to Adum, set bloggers, turn on live, go on TikTok and be insulting everybody. To the point where his own campaign manager, when he first wanted to run as comms director, I believe, Honorable Neil Vanderpool, he was Sammy Gyamfi's campaign manager. In doing the most prudent thing, when a young man has shown ineptitude and incompetence, and in responding to issues, denigrates everybody, comes to apologize because it's the right thing to do. Within hours, has retracted. He resets his own apology. Even see how the public accepted that apology from Honorable Neil Vanderpool. The public thought it was the most mature thing to do. Yet in his own party, no. He is the most smartest, intelligent boy. Even IMF doesn't know what they are saying. The most smartest, intelligent CEO who has brought us 10.8 is upset that we are asking him about 1.7 billion loss. 1.7 billion. And if it is so amazing, as they say, why are they redefining the cost of productions and looking at it from 14% to 5%? We need to know. And that conversation should not sit on TV programs or sit on radio stations. It should go to Parliament. The majority should embrace it and not dismiss it. And let's get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
So please, personal issues are not what I'm interested in. Personal friendships, we do not care. The voter does not care what their relationship is or whatever. It is merely a distraction. And the reaction shows that there's a panic. Honorable Atuforsen has questions to answer. The governor has questions to answer. Sammy Gyamfi has questions to answer. 1.7 billion, we should all be worried. And guess what? That's 2025. We are in August of 2026. Per the laws, if I'm to make a projection, I'm sure that we are almost past $2.5 billion. Moro, it is so shocking because we can't even appreciate the quantum loss that we are talking about. So the program, as they claim, that we established, they accept that fact, was good, but it was bad because there were losses. Then when you come, you make it a monopoly, you make it a sole regulator, you put in a tax force, And when there's a loss and we're asking questions, it's not insults, it's not attacks. You confiscate the issues and draw lines that are not even in existence into the conversation. And my honorable here, who was once a member of parliament, is not concerned about what the good people of Ghana are losing with $1.7 billion and wants to make it a question of who said what and whether somebody asked for something or not. If indeed that happened, then he is a lawyer. Extortion is a crime. If you know for fact, put your evidence out there. But that is not the conversation. 1.7 billion could complete Agenda 111. Your policy head for 24-hour economy, on Guzi Tano, sits at the Jubilee House. So frustrated, he came to complain to voters, saying that he needs $4 billion for the 24-hour economy policy. He needs $4 billion. So the 24-hour economy was your flagship policy. We had free SHS. Within the first year of our governance in 2017, we implemented free SHS. You said 24-hour economy. Your policy head is saying you need 4 billion. And in the 4 billion, somebody in 1 year has cost the state 1.7 billion. How much is that compared to the 4 billion? Even if that you mitigated that disaster and supported the policy unit with that fund, wouldn't it at least giving you some credit?
So let me
ask we speak, he's lamenting publicly, telling us the failures of this government. Because clearly there was no plan in place for 24-hour economy.
Okay, so
even in the budget, there was no budget for it in the first.
So let me ask you this.
So 1.7 billion is what we are interested in. Right. That is what the voter is concerned about. They don't care about anybody's personal issue. So whether it appears on Gold Board's balance sheet or it appears on BOG's balance sheet, we have a right to question what caused.
Sammy Gyamfi no was superhuman. Wabure nipa so ana mama nipa ba ko pedi party ni just one single soul. And somewhere na one can na no betra radio so wasan Nkrumah say I was very loud when we were in opposition. Now what do obi na nka nkyere wansa when was now we are very loud, and then you ka Sammy Gyamfi asem e wo Gold Board mu a na Nkrumah bi aba be di watem aba be kasa ho hia and some for but they forgotten says Sammy Gyamfi was the same person or opposition or can some they say I can give you thousands of videos Sammy Gyamfi oh yeah okay when they were in opposition. Now this Sammy Gyamfi and Kasano me say me I keep on saying it too when this for Muntunufo because according some can in fact me say extortionist now what they are true or they saying extortionist now what say a fair marking way no pamucho mon frère honorable a fair marking mon lead no na one see no so when you see we are NPP lawyer for ma then I say my Shanghai ma abrante we dey can say if it is true let us know because NPP party shouldn't remain in opposition forever. And say you know kura eni say for nipa ba akoso then people party no e wo position forever. And if Yera said Yera or Oppong Nkrumah can say they are solidly behind honorable Afenyomakin, you should invest help him. We are lawyer for Momo no one see you abrantiano was you abrantiano when you be no kure but moya yankasa me se obegumo party no mo the market on the wall. Na mo de monya ho momfa book law enante monya to say dey say hwemfa mo ho you don't care about anything ye mo bi won ensem no we cause say no ye tiase ha ye nim de akoso and it's a woody agro na why sue me or paometna ha na one challenge. That's why he's not been able to challenge what I'm saying or beka in some way minority no mo no Moisha leader no na won siu no said akosua menu kan no say anytime okohwini ebetwa toato no beka to so opa famiko court opa siu na say judge no why na downfall but in this case you can follow this case to the end na me pa cho e de na ba e manapo e de na ba e manapo siu no obepa cho And that's when you know kwafo. It is a, if you take anything to be normal, papa, we bet sniffy abnormally. Se mofo bibia say normal, na nipa ba ko pese. E kansam, na moye ye din, ye kom, ye gentle party. Gentility, it kills. This time around, gentility bebrebe no ekum. Mo de monye hwehan na won kekanko. One, Pacho was started free na nadu dan kokofo do so. Was na nadu akwaje $40,000 bribe. Or different NDC for one son or mom appointment. I want a tenor. How truth is this? Yante Wasem. Two, also Dr. Muhammad Baumia. For no or day corruption scandals at the bar Ghana for the very first time. Yan Shadante Wasem. Three, was Dr. Matu Poku Prempens why a ding and no and na put Debbie. Me ma won say me din and what na poankasa and was see you no. After the see you near Boka 500,000 a wapacho. Sammy Gyamfi no amomo hu say I say wo the kwafo wo ka no kore wo ntwantro no ye de ne kokoti ba ko no na wapacho. And how true this what he is saying. Sama ye hunu de wo mu a ye mu bi nsu ye bedin say de wo ka ne no kore. Because mono NPP for my home mache a told us a kind of correction. And I'm expecting the minority caucus. Among said the Mihuna, Massabe who say, was saying Yanokran, one among some honorable affair making. No one said the Abranch and Nekan, a Yanokre. Okay, I Yanokre, okay, Yanokre, okay, and Yanokra, what is the way forward? What is the next or the same way? I bet me to get rid of this guy. The next way forward and say, okay, sir, for your mark can deny this and more money is you know, because of a gumo party, no, take it as a joke, take it or leave it. But at the end of the day, no, some more fun as a joke, it is going to go around and hit you back in the coming election. Don't take it as a joke. And this is for no motor or the omo no a bro. Nti so waka sam baako na se wa meyi hu ano na wo ye yinga no one de saa na wote ta okekansam otwa ntro wonka no kore but ye wo youth bi won so no so afi no no so enya do wo party no so beti sa nkomo ya ya o na se no kore na wasesa na dwene mfa no mendi agro aha Smart African Media patcho oba subscribe like na fi sign share ma fofora wono mu echichi ene bencheye midin e de odoman komoba na kofi. In the comment section, feel free. Now, also, chira wadjini said the bear bibia ebeye kama edi amaye. Oba subscribe like now if you sign share. We are turn on the notification bell. Said the bear video bia etufuma. We're going to give it to you. Now, also, we'll macro.